St. Joseph Cougars, welcome back to school. This is an exciting year in middle school, and I just want to tell you a few things about our new Chromebook program. For you parents who are not able to be there for our parent orientation on book day, I just want to go over a couple of things for you also. Students will be able to hear all this information in class. With our Chromebooks, we won't be getting those for the first few weeks. It takes a while for us to get all the paperwork in for everybody. So we'll need a couple of things. We'll need to sign off on our policies and procedures. That's that little packet that you get on book day to sign off on. And also we just need to have proof that you've either seen and watched this video or you attended the parent orientation on book day. If you're watching this video, we'll send it also with a link to directions on how to get the papers to sign off on that. Just simple form saying, yes, we heard it. We just want to make sure that you know all the information going forward. Once we have that for everybody, then we'll talk about distributing the Chromebooks. At that time, when your Chromebook comes home for the first time, it will be packaged in its nice factory packing, which means it looks like a little cardboard suitcase. When that comes home, that's when you need to make sure that you put on a case for it. It's really important that we keep those Chromebooks covered and secure because they're a good piece of expensive machinery, so we want to make sure it lasts you all 3 years of middle school for 6th grade, obviously, not quite as long for you older students. The case, we've sent out a link for this also, but it's a hard case. You can get any case that you want to, but this is one we suggest. It's really easy. It just snaps on there. It has some nice cushions here so it doesn't slide on those middle school desks. It has some parts here that can tilt the Chromebook up so that you can look at it on an angle. But again, there's any different colors. You can choose whichever color you like. So that should stay on your Chromebook at all times. This is a little bit bigger Chromebook. This is my daughter's at BT. In addition to that, you'll notice when you put that Chromebook case on, the ports are not covered. That's so that you can always access them. I don't know, but if you're like children in my house, sometimes if this goes into the book bag, there's going to be crumbs and all kinds of fun things on the bottom of that book bag. So we want to also, in addition, when you're not using the Chromebook, because this one stays on at all times, when you're not using the Chromebook, it goes into a sleeve case. So that sleeve case, you can find any of them. There's lots online. There may be around $9 or $10. Walmart even carries them too, and so does Target. It just zippers all the way up. Usually it's a neoprene sleeve, which means it's just a nice material and it's padded as well so that it can give extra protection to that Chromebook. So two things, the hard case that stays on at all times and that sleeved zippered case that you need to get to carry it when you're not using it. Okay, so that's for the storage. Taking care of your device. When you have your Chromebook, just some simple things. If you're using it in class, obviously it's going to stay on a flat surface, but you're at home, make sure that we're just not using it around food and drink and things like that. You want to have it in a nice dry place, okay? We don't want any food to get on it or anything like that. When you're using the Chromebook, if you have to move it, best thing would be to close it first, okay, and then move it like that. If you have to move it when it's open, make sure that you're grabbing it from the bottom and never grab it from the monitor part. If I grab it from here and try to move it, it's very easy that it might slip out of my hands or it might break or damage the Chromebook, so we definitely don't want to do that. So just some simple things about where to use it and how to take care of it. Storing and charging your Chromebooks. Okay, it's very important that you guys all keep your Chromebooks charged at home so that when you bring it to school that it's going to be fully charged. The batteries last about 9 to 10 hours, so that's going to take care of your whole day for you at school. So just make sure that it's going to be charged at home, okay? If for any chance that you don't happen to have it charged when you come to school, in all the classrooms they do have extra charging cables, but we don't ever want to have to use those because those are going to end up costing you conduct points and that's no fun, okay? So charge it up at home. Where should you keep it? I always suggest that we do, just for best practices, always keep it in a nice central location in the kitchen or the family room. So when you go to sleep at night, mom and dad know that that thing is charging. It's going to be there for you the next day. Never, I wouldn't suggest, keeping the Chromebooks in your room or anything like that. You don't need to have screen time 24/7. I know some of us would like to, but it's really good for us to look away from that for a while. We're very cognizant at school too. We're not going to be doing it on the Chromebooks, the entire 9 hours you're at school also. It's just a tool. It's one of many tools that your teachers have, okay? A couple more things. Some of the safety features of our Chromebooks. Our teachers and staff have done a great job of really making sure that these are safe for you. So just like when you're in the computer lab and you are under our filtering on our internet, same thing with our Chromebooks. They're on that same filtering protection so that our light speed will be protecting the Chromebooks and your use on the Chromebooks. And also when you go home, that protection follows you. So not only are you covered under that, we also have a relay program that carries that protection at home also. In addition to having filters on there, just like you're in the computer lab, it was also important for us to know that that you're the only ones using your Chromebooks. So we've locked our Pro Chromebooks down to just a single user setting. So if you have a St. Joseph email, you can log on to the Chromebooks, okay? But your older brother who's in college or a neighbor down the street is not going to be able to log on to our device, okay? It is your device, but is managed by this St. Joseph Catholic School until you graduate. So that is one of the safety features that we have set in place. Also, it's a couple of things that have been removed. Incognito, for example, the ability to be online and not leave any kind of trail. That's something else that we've removed for your safety. And also, besides all of these features, we just always ask, just like any other electronic device, if your child is using it, whether it's your computer at home or their Chromebook at home, we just always, just to be aware of what they're doing on the computers and also how long they're on the computers. They're obviously going to be doing lots of homework on them and working collaboratively, and that's what they're really designed for. But there can be a limit to that too. So all that being said, we protected our device physically. We're using it in a good place. We're protecting you online also. But sometimes things happen and our Chromebook might get damaged, okay? We might have an accident, and we understand that. So your Chromebooks do come with some Chromebook protection as well. So if any time during middle school, for some of you 1 to 3 years there, okay, depending on what grade you are in now, if your Chromebook breaks for any reason, we have a one-time replacement program. So if your Chromebook breaks, what will happen is you just bring it to the front office, and then your student will get a letter explaining what has happened, that you're going to now be in the replacement program process. Mom and Dad will get an email that day, and what we'll do is we'll take that Chromebook and make sure to see what the problem is. If it needs to be repaired, we'll send it out for repair, and that will be repaired or replaced. The first time is free, and during that process, your student will also get a loaner Chromebook. Now, the loaner Chromebook does not have the protection on it, so you need to be very careful with that. But that loaner Chromebook they will be able to use right away that same day, and they can take it home also. And then as soon as we get the Chromebook fixed, then we'll replace that and take the loaner back. This process is usually pretty quick. We have a great company that works with us, so it should be, within a matter of weeks, days to weeks. It shouldn't be more than maybe 1 or 2 weeks. Okay, it happens pretty quick. What happens if I misplace my Chromebook? Okay, hopefully that won't happen, but remember, anything that you're working on in the Chromebook, you can still do on your desktop. You just need to have access to your Google Drive, and all that's web-based, so all of your work will still be there. So that's really nice that a lost Chromebook or a damaged Chromebook won't hurt your child in any way as far as them losing any productivity. They're going to do a great job with that. We just want to make sure when you're using the Chromebooks in class that you're on task. So even though you have this wonderful technology, you might not be on maybe the right page or something like that. Just like if we were passing notes in class or not doing what you're supposed to be doing in class, the same thing applies to technology. So if you're off task with technology, there are consequences with that also. Please make sure that you're really reading the policies and procedures for the Chromebooks and the middle school discipline policy, because it's all covered under there, okay? And how we're using them in class, basically our Chromebooks are a great tool for us to increase productivity. We noticed last year when we piloted this with last year's 8th grade class that class projects were all of a sudden being able to be completed much faster. Students are able to work together in real time and not have to worry about losing a flash drive or saving the material and having one person work on one version of it while the other person has to work on a later version, and then having to work together somehow, finding a way to meet physically at a location or someone's house. They can all work on the same document in the same time. So we found that productivity goes way up. A lot of times the quality of the product is also going up too. So we're seeing a real increase in what the students are able to do with them. Now, some of your books might be online for sure. Spanish is, so you'll all have access to that. That was mandatory on your book list. I know the social studies one is optional, so you might be able to access that also. And obviously, research and things like that you can do. We're going to do a lot of things collaboratively. It is a tool, so we're not going to be using it all the time in class. So your math class, you won't be doing the Chromebooks the whole time. Social studies or English, it's not going to be all the time. It's a great tool, but it's only one of many tools that your teacher has. It is wonderful to be able to differentiate how you learn. The nice thing about Chrome is it remembers the kind of learner that you are. So if you find an extension that changes the way that the web page works, and that works better for you as a learner, then you can keep that on your profile and it'll be there every time that you're on the Chromebook. So it's a great learning tool for all of our different learning styles. So anyway, that's just a little bit about the Chromebooks. Just to recap, it's a very safe and secure device for our students. We want them to do a great job with them. It's definitely going to help us in the learning process. It's a wonderful skill to be able to learn a whole new operating system with Google and Chrome this year, something that many of you might be using later in high school also. Just remember that with every great privilege comes responsibility, and we want to make sure that you are equally informed as well, so we can all make this experience a wonderful one for our St. Joseph's Cougars. If you have any questions, please email me at msutchell2@stjosephschool.org, or you can come see me also. My office is in the technology office. Cougars, have a wonderful day, and we cannot wait to see you on the first day of school. Go Cougars!